Hi, everybody. It's been a while. Been a while since we've been on. Probably a little over a month, I think. Um, Finally got over this employment situation. Good to see everybody here. Fly Zone Drones. Jim Beauchart popped in. He's gone back to work. He's gonna miss us. Mudball Creative. Always good to see you. Never spot the drone, eh? Well, yeah. I don't know if I should go back and spot it for you. There's a phantom in there, and it's over the water. It was Paul Hodges from Phantom Hodges Drone was flying with me that day. Um, it's always fun to put together those compilations, you know, as and I guess it's been a couple of months since I actually watched that one, so it was kind of fun to watch it again. I think the last couple of live streams I did one that was out back here on the farm, not my farm, but they were scratching dirt, getting ready to plant potatoes. But the potatoes are way up now. So, and we've had lots of rain and lots of heat. So usually I count on my grass turning brown in July, so I don't have to cut it. But it's been a regular occurrence lately. So I actually had to take some of the money I made working and go out and buy myself a lawn sweeper. There's just so much grass there that as you muddle through it, you have to be able to mechanically pick it up. The yard's just too big to be raking. So, and I don't have a vacuum on the tractor. But anyway, what's on everybody's mind? I don't see too much activity in the chat. Let's just take a look and see who's watching. We got 3 watching, but nobody's saying anything. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to address, by all means, let me know in the chat, and we'll get at it. I was talking about work. I was doing some work for the Canadian government with Statistics Canada, and I'll tell you, it was probably the worst job I've ever had. I was the assistant crew leader for this area, and as such, I was tasked with confronting all those people that refused to do the census, and because I was working for Statistics Canada, and some of it got quite heated, and certainly the stress that you were put under certainly didn't match the compensation you got for it. But that's that. It's over. It's done. I'm finished with getting all that kind of abuse, and so now I get to collect unemployment insurance, maybe for a year. I don't know. Probably make more money after working than during work. Also, out of that employment, I was able to. Well, let me just reach down here and see what I'll show you what I got. Everybody's already seen one of these, but I thought I'd quickly discuss my new acquisition here. That's the DJI Air 2S. We've had it up a number of times, and actually, the first I just published the first video the night before last. It was two trains crossing the bridge over the Grand River in Paris, Ontario. Oh, and there's Paul Hodges. I have to take the wife to daycare, and then I have to put up a sign in the Simcoe area. Yeah, he's coming over towards my area to install a real estate sign. He's got about an hour drive, and it's about 20 minutes from my house. But I don't do that kind of sign thing. Yeah, it's all really nice and shiny and everything. We're trying to keep it up. I find this gimbal guard a little bit touchy to get off. I don't know if anybody's got any tips on. I always feel like I'm yanking on it to get it off. But one of these days I'm going to get the hang of it. But It's always, there we go. So yeah, so there it is without the gimbal guard. Now my original Mavic Air, I lost the gimbal guard over a year ago, so it was never it was never a concern. Um, and I never had a problem with that gimbal, even without the gimbal guard. Let's see if I can get this off again. It didn't go on there right. Yeah, and it's nice having the ND filters. I've shot with the ND4 in some fair light, but ND8s most of the time in daytime. See there, it's not in again. Anyway, I'll put that aside and figure it out when I'm not live. But I'm really disappointed in the Fly app. It's no video on my stream. Let me just take a look here. I'm showing video on my screen. That's strange. Anybody else having video trouble? Mudball Creative sees me. I don't know what Paul's doing, but anyway. Got a black screen, but he can hear me. Oh, that's odd. Everybody else seems to be seeing me. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the Fly app. Yes, the Fly app is problematic at best. I'm so used to the Go 4 app that it just seems that everything is hidden in the Fly app, and the battery storage. Man, the thing. I think after 2 or 3 days, it seems to go into storage mode. So I go to Fly, and I've only got 56% or 60% of my battery. So some of the flights are a little shorter than I was expecting. But the range on this thing is incredible. I've got a commercial job that I'm doing south of here, and one day I was up shooting across the road at the pond and pointed the thing south and flew all the way down to this job that I'm doing, and actually flew the whole job right from in my gazebo here. I didn't even have to get out of the chair. So it was, I'm quite impressed with the range of this thing compared to the original Mavic Air, and the quality of the video is certainly way better than I was used to. But yeah, so the DJI Air is new. The other thing that's new here in the family is my new truck. I traded in a 2006 Toyota Corolla, which ended up on a ship going to Africa. I don't know. They sold my 06 Corolla with 500,000 kilometers on it to Africa, so it's gone. But I bought a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, and what a difference moving up 15 years in technology. With the radar, cruise control, and all of the hybrid technology. I've got a range on a little 55-liter tank of about 850 kilometers, they say. And I've regularly got 700 kilometers on that little tank. So I'm getting about, they say about 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is roughly 47 miles per gallon on an SUV. And I don't think anybody can complain about that. This is, some pretty good technology, And with the automatic headlights and the automatic high beams, the automatic windshield wipers, and the lane tracking assist. Basically You set the cruise control, set the lane tracking assist, and just sit back and watch the thing drive itself. As long as you put your hand on the steering wheel every once in a while, it just seems to keep going. So I don't have a guest yet. We're 15 minutes in. And I'm not getting a lot of feedback here from the chat. Mudball Creative says, "Yeah, that's a shiny drone." Yeah, it is. It's great. Like I said, there's a lot to like about that drone, but it's a little shady on the app, I think. But maybe I'll get used to the fly app. I don't know. There's just I find it difficult to get at the camera settings and get the telemetry in a place where I can see it and all that stuff. But it'll improve with time. I did a video this week. Some of you have seen it. I guess 20 or 30 have seen it, of a train crossing the Grand River over a bridge in Paris, and that was an interesting flight. I checked the battery in the drone and headed up to fly, and thought I had some pretty good flight time. Got up there with the intention of lining up the shots, getting the lighting right, and I just got all the lighting right and everything, and damned if I heard a train whistle. So rather than coming back and landing, I had to shoot the train. And it wasn't the train that I was expecting. I loaded the Via Rail schedule and knew when the train was leaving Brantford, Ontario. I figured it would take, 10, 12 minutes to get to Paris, because it takes half an hour to drive there. But they take a more direct route than we do on the road. So I was expecting the passenger train that I was waiting for to come later. And what happened was the freight train came, and the freight train came, and I thought, well, I got to shoot this. And the thing just kept coming and coming and coming. The train must have been 3 or 4 miles long. And you don't see it in the video that I posted, but I must have been 5 minutes just shooting that train. And then I panned over towards the back of the train to see, how far this was going out. And I could see lights off in the distance, and that was the Via Rail train coming. Well, I didn't have time to land the drone and then line up the shot again. So I had to kind of transition from where I was on the freight train to catch the Via train. And it wasn't the shot that I wanted. It was from higher up and farther back. And I may yet go back and shoot another Via train going over. I've actually seen from a distance the Via train going one way with a freight train in the opposite direction, and that would be even better. But as it was, I caught the Via train, the passenger train, passing the freight train. So it was an interesting shot anyway, and a lot of people were surprised to see two trains on the same bridge at once. But I guess I got lucky and caught two trains, and that was what got posted. So yeah, I was lucky in one sense, but still didn't get the shot that I was looking for. Roger Palooza is coming up this weekend in Quebec. Paul Hodges is going. I'm not sure who else is going. There'll be quite a crowd there, no doubt. I don't know if I can make it. My son has just returned from Iraq, and if he's going to be visiting on the weekend, that I'm going to be here for him, because it's been quite a while since I've seen him. He left for Iraq in October, and with the Canadian military in aid of NATO training the Iraqi forces to defend against ISIS. And he was due to be back sometime in May, and May became June, and June became July, and things got complicated, and he was airlifted out of Iraq by a Polish helicopter just over a week ago, and then had to wait for a flight from Afghanistan to come and pick him up in Kuwait, and he made it back on Sunday night. So we're quite happy to have him reunited with his family in Kingston, and it was, and we're still anxious to get him to come here for a visit. And if I do get a chance to, if he's not coming here on the weekend, I might pop over to Rogers in Quebec and then stop in Kingston on my way back for a quick visit, just to see the kid in the flesh, you know. That'd be nice. But well, we're 20 minutes into it here. Yes, you're right, Modball. That is a long stretch to be deployed, and he was telling me yesterday that he was in Kingston at home, and it's 24 degrees there, and he was shivering. He's used to 50 Celsius in Iraq, and 50 Celsius and living in a sea container. Sea can life, I guess, isn't particularly good, even if you do have a little bit of air conditioning. But and they do spend a lot of time outdoors in the military. So yeah, so that'll be it'll be nice to actually see him in the flesh. So his kids have been here they've only been here once because of the COVID thing, and they seem to enjoy our pool and the hot tub and stuff like that. And my wife is still working for Statistics Canada, so we haven't regained the use of our pool house yet. So that makes for interesting accommodation. We got a 3-bedroom house, and two of us, and we're living in 2 of the bedrooms all the time, and we have another room upstairs we call the cottage room, which is where the girls, my grandkids, stay when they're here, and usually then the parents would stay in the pool house, but pool house is still a government office, so we're hoping that that stuff gets cleared out pretty soon. Even though I'm not employed for the government, I still do a fair bit of work for my wife, hauling stuff back and forth to the post office and helping her with shipping all of this stuff back to either Gatineau, Quebec, or to the data center in Toronto. So it's it's been a bit of a stretch work-wise, but we're pretty much, I'm pretty much over it now. But the missus, she's getting into it more than ever. So there's lots of stuff going on. Anything going on with you guys? Who's been flying lately? I'm sort of watching the chat to see what's going to happen here. I suppose everybody I sent an invitation to is probably out flying today because, well, it's not a bad day here. It's 26 degrees Celsius with 80. Was it worth it to do the work? Honestly, that's a hard one to say. You know, I made some money. You know, that it kind of freed me up to just go ahead and buy that drone and have some play money. Certainly, being retired is a lot better. It's hard to imagine finding the time to go to work on a regular basis. Now, in this job, my time was sort of my own, but never my own. the reason I wasn't doing the live stream was I didn't know when I was expected to get a call to go out on some adventure. Um, so you were getting paid for the time you were on the job, but you were always on call. So you weren't claiming any time for the time you were on call. So, some days you'd only get 2 or 3 hours. Um, During the month of July, I got laid off on the 30th of July. During the month of July, the only 2 days I was off work altogether were the 1st of July, which was a Canadian holiday, and I took off the 4th of July, not because it was an American holiday, but just because I needed to take a break. Um, the the stress of the job was a bit much, but I'm getting over it now. The threats and the being cussed out was tough, because you're a government employee. You can't strike back, either verbally or physically, even though you're sometimes threatened physically. You just have to back up and take the verbal abuse. And um, there's a large anti-government sentiment. Um, with census, you have to explain to people that it's not this government that's doing the census. It's Statistics Canada, who've been doing it for 300 years, since before Canada was a country. And it's not about control. It's just about finding out where the people are and what services they should be planning for. Um, most of the questions were very general. Who are you? How old are you? Um, and where do you live? And where did you live 5 years ago? Sort of trying to figure out migration patterns within the country. People are moving out of the cities, moving to the country, and it's driving up rural real estate prices, which is great for me if I ever decide to dump the old farmhouse. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings on the property. Um, you know, if we ever decide to move, where would we go? But Statistics Canada, they keep track of everything. Yeah, do it in secret later. Yeah, I was thinking that, but we got to behave. We got to behave. um, you know, yeah, yeah, mud ball. It's rough, but you have to put it behind you. We see anti-government sentiment here, just like they see in the U.S. What I don't understand is people in Canada with Trump flags. We don't have a dog in that fight. Um, oh, okay. You're doing stuff for a utility company. Oh, great. Well, that's good stuff to shoot the wind turbines. Yeah, yeah, that's interesting work. The work that I'm doing is for a greenhouse construction, and it's not really inspection work. It's just sort of documenting the construction as it happens, so that they can go back and sort of um, promote their business. This is a multi-million-dollar project that's going up. It's a huge greenhouse for growing flowers, actually. And the federal minister of agriculture is interested in coming to their opening when they finally get it completed. They still haven't got the drainage pipes in yet, but once they get the drainage in, then they'll start putting soil into it, and then they'll start putting up the superstructure and the glass, and that'll be an interesting thing to watch. So, I've been contracted for the whole thing, and they came and they gave me a vest and a hard hat and all that stuff. And even though I told the woman who's the project, well, she's not the project manager, she's sort of their PR person, but I told her that, that I don't really even have to go on site. I can shoot it from off site, but I prefer to be there so that I don't alarm the people who are on the ground. I don't have to, alarm the people who are on the ground working. I just see that Rodney Bell went live. That's interesting. He went live a minute ago. So maybe what I'll do is we can go over to Rodney Bell's channel shortly. I'll probably wrap this one up and try again next Tuesday once people get used to me being on Tuesdays. Then maybe we'll get a regular audience. Let's just take a look here now. Yeah, we got 3 people watching, so nobody will be too disappointed. Mudball, it's good to see you in here. You're not doing inspection, just pretty shots for marketing. And you know what? That's great. And I think that's really what I'm doing. I think it's more a marketing effort. It'll be interesting to see if I can shoot from inside the greenhouse when it's done, But anyway, yes, once I get consistency again, people may come back. I hope so. Anyway, I would like to thank all 3 of you for coming. Please like and subscribe. Stay safe. Be kind. And we'll see you again Tuesday again at the same time. All right? Have a great day, everybody, and we'll call it a day. Have a good one. Well, and if you go over to Rodney Bell's channel, put in hashtag Brant Ariels Raid so that he knows that I sent you over there. Okay? Have a great one. Bye now.